So first of all, I think it's quite clear. We knew it before coming over to the conference, so we are experiencing, I would say, a turbulent market for the time being. Volatility is there, caused mainly by the geopolitical chaos, but also the economic chaos we are living in. We are facing interest rates rising for the last year, inflation rates which has not been seen for over 30 years now. So it definitely creates turbulence, and of course this has been confirmed by Professor Rubini yesterday. The geopolitical context is also adding some oil on the fire there, also confirmed by Rasmussen yesterday. So for me, it was very interesting to hear those speeches because, of course, I would say, first of all, there are the big trends happening on the market today, which do not really help. But on the other side, I think the European listed real estate sector, we can say it has been very resilient during the whole pandemic on the one side, but also in the current geopolitical and economic chaos. Our sector has been performing much better than during the global financial crisis. Global financial crisis was mainly a solvency crisis. This one was more a liquidity crisis during the time. But the sector had drastically, I would say, improved its balance sheet structure post-GFC. LTV is quite lower. The structure of the companies, the debt structure of the companies is now fixed for the longer term with fixed maturities, etc. So the sector has been very resilient. So linking that with the conference we just had, I would say that the interesting part of it is that we also wanted to make more and more connections between people, between what's happening, I would say, on the economical part, the geopolitical part, but also thinking about, I would say, the growth of our sector, the future of our industry. And the main takeaway is particularly from the interactive sessions we had in the afternoon, confirmed that the big priorities which EPRA has started to implement over the last years are definitely going into the right way, but there is still a lot to do. So what we have seen in Europe over the last years is an increase of some of the alternative sector, particularly focusing on the like self-storage and the healthcare sector, etc. But the alternative sector is probably also the area where the growth will come from. So we need to be much bigger in those sectors. Looking at the healthcare sector for the time being, yes, there are interesting companies across Europe, but those companies need to be bigger. We need to have more and more of those companies to come to the publicly listed market. The US today, if you look at the alternative sector, in the US roughly the alternatives represent 40 to 45% of the total market cap. In Europe it's only 12%. So there is a huge potential to grow there. The new sectors which have been, of course, performing very well during the pandemic, but also in the current context, such as the data centers, cell towers, life sciences, that should be also the sector which would help to grow the listed real estate sector in Europe in the future. And we will welcome them. We come on the listed space, and we are also working on that quite hard.